What's up, y'all? We back. We are back for our monthly show. Of course, it is Pisces season. Cassie should be hopping on here in a minute, and we're gonna get started. There she is, Cassie girl, Cassie girl. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this. We have amazing. And my God, mommy joined. Hey, girl. Okay, Cassie, you should. I think I did it right. I don't know. Oh my God.
Playing games.
Girl, I'm like,
Right.
oh,
Please let it work.
all right. It is Sunday, February the 18th, 2024. Welcome to the Zodiac Chatline. I'm your host, Tanae, and as always, got my girl Cassie with me. Girl, how
What's
are you?
up? Good. How are you, Miss Aquarius, as we're closing out like the last 15 minutes of your season here?
Okay,
How's
ma'am,
it
and I'm going
been?
to enjoy every bit of Aquarius season because if nothing else happened, Aquarius season did exactly what the fuck Aquarius season was gonna do. She
Mm-hmm.
was out here just actually I think Aquarius season is non-binary.
100%. Yeah, for
They were
sure.
out here doing everything and a little bit of nothing all at the same time, and I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we had quite a bit of interesting developments in a lot of different areas of our lives. And I mean, like the collective's lives, not individually. Me and Cassie, y'all need to know our business like that. But we're gonna start with one of my favorite things that happened at the right in the middle of Aquarius season, right after my birthday, was the Grammys. Now, I will say this. I get it, awards, like whatever. However, my Roman Empire was the Tracy Chapman performing on that stage, her amazing hit, Fast Car. If you were not born around that and you don't know about the mixtape, Tracy Chapman, talking about a revolution, I could go, let's see, give me one reason. I could keep going because as a baby lesbian, she gave me all the life. Maybe she doesn't come out, but we know that she's gay. Anyway, I do appreciate that Luke Combs did give her so much credit for that song, and she was able to collect the royalties on it as he did the cover. But I was just moved by watching this flawless ass. I mean, drop the skin routine, Tracy, because I was like,
I could never.
ma'am, the locks was gray and just listen. That was one of my Roman empires. The other one was Best New Artist. Ma'am, Victoria Monet, we love you here at the Zodiac Chatline. So proud of your accomplishments. I think that a lot of people didn't realize how much you had already contributed to music. Ariana Grande is, I'm sure, very thankful for all of your songwriting talents, but to be able for you to display your own album, you go on tour, and you have a bop on my mama. Like, yes, like I love that for you. I appreciate you. And the Grammys, that was like the highlight for me. And then there was everything else after that.
Man, the accountability train really just kept rolling on through Aquarius season. Our former leader of this country that we live in, our collective nightmare, Donald, what's his face, is now up to owing $500 million in penalties to E. Jean Carroll for defaming her 2 times, and also to the state of New York for defrauding them for
Ever.
decades, forever. And I thought it was fascinating to see that by the end of Aquarius season, we had, Joe Biden, who has been no, friend to collective liberation in the Middle East, but actually standing next to the King of Jordan, who was calling for a ceasefire from the American bully pulpit. I mean, that was, I think, just a testament to how much the collective has pushed and pushed and pushed and kept pushing on what is happening in Palestine. And I'm extremely impressed with the power of social media in this moment to not just be performative, but really be shedding light on this and spreading this information and just forcing people to not forget that this is
Blatantly.
happening.
Yeah, like very openly calling people out. And I think that those in power and celebrities felt that they were in a different atmosphere, a different level of being held accountable. And the collective, I think the collective is only going to increasingly get stronger and louder, especially because I feel like Gen Zers have no fucks to give, because they're like, if our planet isn't going to be here, why do we give a fuck about y'all? So let me just say what I gotta say. And one Gen Zer that is reminding us like, hey, fuck these rich people is Jack Sweeney. He's a college student who has been tracking all of the celebrities' private jet fuel emissions because, of course, the environment, because Cassie has talked to us over and over about this. And he has tracked, of course, you know, that girl, Taylor Swift. And she's trying to sue him for tracking something that's actually public information. But you understand why he's like, all of these celebrities are just taking jets. You know, she took a 13-minute jet ride to the Grammys. Like, girl, what?
Yeah.
Instead of a 40-minute drive. Like, it's just almost like we understand that these celebrities exist and we've kind of elevated them to this level. But I believe that once Pluto has left Capricorn and moved to Aquarius, celebrity culture is just not as appealing as it is anymore. And we're kind of disgusted.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. I think we're done putting people on pedestals, you know, like it's one thing to do that in your own heart because of somebody who has, you know, shown you their true colors and has, you know, been there for you and bolstered you, and now in your personal life you're elevating that person. But for all of us to be worshiping at the moneyed people in our culture, like, no,
It just
like the vibe
doesn't,
is
yeah.
eat the rich. Like,
Yeah.
we're not.
It's like, I don't care if you got a Hermes or a Burke, like none of that. It's just like, and like, or have you fed a homeless person today? You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
you know, like,
right.
what have you done to help the environment? Or, you know, I will say that the other kind of minor highlight for me during Aquarius season was, of course, my great Megan Thee Stallion releasing Hiss, and then that beef with that other rapper, Nicki Minaj. And, you know,
So
listen, I'm just going to say this, okay? This is how you know to leave Aquariuses alone, because Megan Thee Stallion did not say a name, didn't call nobody name, but she did say a hit dog will holler, and I heard woo woo real loud because like nobody was talking to you, but you wanted everybody to talk to you, and made the song more relevant, drove it to number one, like over. It was just almost like you did exactly what she wanted to do. And as an Aquarius, it's like, thank you for playing chess with me.
yes,
checkmate.
Welcome to the game you thought was checkers. We are playing chess. Yeah. Truly though, I mean, I know we talked about this on our production call, but I think it bears discussing here. The Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj beef is like the classic high vibrational Aquarius versus a low vibrating Sag, because a high vibrating Aquarius can destroy your life without ever saying your name, and a low vibrating Sag cannot stop themselves from telling on themselves, from digging that hole deeper. They're just
the
like,
impulsivity of that fire energy is like, what do we say? Sag is like a campfire, out of fucking control. And if you do not control it, you are on a live for 24 hours ranting about don't put and nobody knows what you're talking about. And then you drop a diss track, say her name, and still everybody's like, girl, shh, Nobody took her phone away. Nobody told her to be quiet. Everybody's like, girl, like, where your friends at? Your real friends. Like, for real, for real.
Well, and it's just incredible because it didn't even have to be about her. It did not even have to be about her, and but she could not
Like, it could
be past
be about
the
1,000 people.
possibility that it was about her, and so it just became that now it will never not be about her because that whole piece is
You made
part
it
of the
about you, but it could have been about every other dude in the music industry or anything else.
yeah.
Your
So
husband's not the only pedophile, ma'am. Like,
sadly, there's a whole bunch of sex criminals she could be
okay.
talking about. Like, truly, truly, like, I mean, the possibilities are endless. It was for me, I would say that my cherry on the Aquarius season accountability Sunday was Jennifer Crumbly, mother of Oxford high school shooter Ethan Crumbly, being found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in a first of its kind verdict here in the United States, where the parents of a school shooter who acted um, in a irresponsible, negligent, and harmful manner were held responsible for that. Hey, maybe don't buy your mentally disturbed children guns.
And he was
Just a
what, like
pitch. 16.
15, 16?
Mm-hmm.
He drive a car? Like, really? Like, it's just, why would you even give him the opportunity? And
Well,
like,
now hopefully more parents will think twice about those types of things because it turns out, yeah, you fucking should be held accountable for that. That's your bad. Like, it's one thing if your kid runs out of your house and goes and steals a bat from, his friend's place and smashes a window. No, you shouldn't be held accountable for that. That's a whole series of choices that kid made that you did not enable. But in this case, it was the opposite. It was a whole bunch of enablement that basically just delivered that kid and that school to that outcome.
man. And then before we break the final nail in the coffin for accountability train was Georgia Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Ma'am, I fucking salute you. You are my Black History Month hero. Because the way that woman got on the stand and got these people together so bad that the next day they were like, never mind, we don't want you to testify anymore, was pure fucking gold. And I appreciate, she had many great one-liners. If you have not watched all of the thing or even bits and pieces, it is everywhere. But the favorite one was like, what you're forgetting is I'm not on trial as much as you want me to be. Now, will I say she probably could have made a better choice and not dated him? Sure, but like, that has no bearing on why these other people are criminals. It's like, here, look over here so we can distract you from our terrible things. Like, it, Fani, girl, you know I'm in Georgia with you. Get it. Get them on them RICO
Yes.
charges. Go Nathan Wade. Because like she had to move out of her house, like death threat. Like there's just been so much happening. They were, Cassie, you know the crazy part is they were asking personal, like asking him, when did you have sex with her? What? Sir, ma'am, why is this relevant to what they're being charged with? It was just,
Yeah.
but she got them together. And when I woke up the next morning, they were like, oh no, we don't want her. And the storybook is closed
Right.
on that. I mean, try again next time, I guess, or just face the consequences. You know they done their work, right? They done their homework. That's why their charges got brought. That's why in New York, them charges got like I think all of the criminals and all of the people that have really thrived off of capitalism not having a real good checks and balance is forgetting is like, these people have been doing their homework for a minute. Like they have dotted every I and crossed all the T's and even the T's they didn't know they had to cross. You know what I mean?
They
like
crossed the cursive capital F's. I mean, that is, we're talking serious, getting down to business here.
Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Mm.
But shout out to everybody. Well, we can now move into Pisces season. quite interested to see how this is going to happen. Oddly enough, there's still a lot of Aquarius energy going on in Pisces season, so we're still going to figure this out.
Yep.
Maybe it'll calm down. I don't know. I was going to say Aries season, but you know them Aries girl. But for Pisces season, we got some good guests. Are you excited? You ready to bring them
Yes.
on? Because we have
Yes.
chatted
Let's do
along, and I
it.
know they're here ready and waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to bring on my amazing friend and comrade. He is a Pisces sun, Capricorn moon, and Cancer rising. And he's going to be mad, but I'm going to say he's my little panda bear, and I love him so much. And this is Nick, and we are bringing Nick on.
And as we bring Nick on, we always got Katy too. Katy is a Pisces sun, Leo moon, Leo rising, a spicy boss ass bitch. One of my oldest, dearest friends. We stood up at each other's weddings because it's like that. And yeah, she's an entrepreneur, a dog mom, a financial wizard, and regular wizard. So welcome both of you. So excited to have you.
Oh dang! Nick is a. I was like, damn! I forgot. I said the panda thing, and I was like, maybe he won't be mad. Nick is an awesome musician and videographer, movie maker. He's all of those creative things that you know a Pisces to be. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Sunday evening for the very, and I mean very beginning of Pisces season. Like we've pretty much hit it, but we're like right still Aquarius season. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. And so today we decided to talk about the topic of dreams. And we got a couple definitions. I'm going to read them to you, and then we're going to hop right in the questions because we want to just talk to y'all.
Yeah, because
So
we're serious interviewers. We're gonna grill you guys about your dreams.
So we have dreams as a series of thoughts, images, or emotions occurring during sleep, an experience of waking life, having the characteristics of a dream, creation of the imagination, a state of mind marked by abstraction or release from reality. Cass and I loved that last one,
Yeah, that's
actually.
our favorite.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
Cassie, kick it off.
All right. So, to our kind of, classic definition of dreams, what is the most memorable dream that you like, sleeping dream that you have ever had that you're willing to share with the people of the internet? Katy, I'm gonna put you in the spotlight since
Sure.
you're my old school peep.
So I think it's difficult for me to answer that question because I feel like there's a lot of blurring. Sometimes it's like, did that really happen or was it just a dream?
Mm.
And then like the daydreaming piece too. Like I feel just constantly like my mind is everywhere, my imagination and my thoughts all the time.
Classic Pisces and Leo, honestly, both.
All right, Nick, you're up.
Yeah, honestly the same. I don't really dream. I think I spend most of my day in a fantasy or delusion that my brain like checks out at night and it's like, all right, time to recharge. We'll try this again tomorrow.
It's time for me to
Uh,
rest too.
yeah, it's like we were working in an overdrive, not stop forever. So
Taxes in your sleep and
yeah,
stuff. You're like making to-do lists, like normal ass shit. That's so funny. Today,
Ooh.
what about you?
Um, I dream rarely. And I like really kept thinking about this. I think a lot of them are I've had very random dreams where I'm like around famous people, just like dreams that I'm like, this isn't real. And then I'll wake up and I'll be like, whoa, that was weird. Because it's, like you're supposed to go in certain levels of sleep. And so it's like, I don't think I'm ever recalling like the deep sleep. It's always like right when I'm waking up that I
Mm-hmm.
remember the like all of these things are happening, and I'm like, oh.
Mhm.
I do usually, if I'm having trouble sleeping, I will use like vibrational hertz to go to sleep, or like I can't even think of what I'm trying to think of. What astral projection, like like just random things like
Mm.
that. So those are ways like to try and go into a deep sleep. But like I don't know. I feel like the same. Like, are they a dream? Am I really existing? I don't know. It's like my soul is awake, but my body is asleep, and so I'm sure I'm navigating through. If I'm having some emotional, like personal things, that I will definitely like dream about that.
Ah, okay. You guys, I feel so alone because I have so many like very vivid dreams in my life that I can still recall. I have one from childhood where a some mad scientist changed took my school picture and put it on another girl's face. And I met the girl, and she looked just like my school picture, and it was very weird. I had reoccurring nightmares in childhood of watching planes crash in the sky, which feels very symbolic, but I'm not really willing to explore that too deeply. And then I've had some very vivid dreams involving animals, including one where I actually was a wolf. And that was pretty tits. And it was right before I met the man who's now my husband. And then the first time I went to his house, he had a wolf blanket on his bed. And I took it as a sign that he was part of my past. Love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, psychic. Anyway, she wasn't supposed to tell you guys all of her secrets, but clearly, don't mess with
My
her.
Cancer
Uh,
placements
if
can't
she
help
if
it.
she
I'm an open
dreams
book.
it, you better believe it. That's basically what I hear from that. Okay, guys, this one, I think Cassie and I really enjoyed this next question. And Nick, of course, this is going to go to you first. Have you had an experience that shook your reality?
Um, yeah, yeah, there's one that comes to mind when I was going to college, fresh out of high school. I was driving one day and in a daydream on the freeway, and I ended up spinning out like across like 4 lanes of traffic or something crazy. Thankfully, didn't hit anybody, didn't have any damage to my car. My car stopped right before I hit the median in the middle. I just remember just like sitting there, just like trying to like make sure I was okay and my composure and everything. And that definitely it was like a near death experience, I guess. So
Yeah.
definitely shook my core a little bit.
I think
Hell
that
yeah.
qualifies.
Yeah.
What about you, Katie?
Um, so I have these like really intense feelings of nostalgia. I'll be somewhere and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I was here. No, it was definitely from like a different lifetime. So
Mm.
I don't know where that comes from, but that's kind of like every time it happens, it's like, whoa, like
Mm.
what's happening right now? Did this happen? Okay, maybe not. I don't know.
Does this happen often?
Uh, couple, yeah.
The pause is an
Wow.
answer. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
That would do it
Yeah.
for sure. What is this? Is this real? Um, one, I have a few. Like the first time I ever took psychedelic mushrooms was definitely like, oh, we're all connected. This all is together, and we are one. And that was pretty transformational experience. But I'll say outside of that, and of course, my father dying was shook my notion of like what the story of life was going to be like, and kind of removed the thought that there was a logical story of life. Like it made me realize things are random and sometimes cruel. But I had one where I went to, I think I have actually talked about it on the show before, that I fainted. And like it was the first time I'd ever, no, not the first time I ever fainted, but the second time. And I was having like a minor procedure done at um, urgent care. And I remember like encountering an energy while I was unconscious that I knew was my father, but it was also like a rising green light kind of thing. And I was in this environment that I was simultaneously creating but also participating in. And I saw my grandmother who had passed energy there too. And I came too, and I felt like I was in this place forever, and it turned out I was only passed out for like a minute and a half. But I remember feeling my consciousness coming back and telling myself like I have to remember this. I have to remember this. This is so crazy. I have to remember this, and I still do. Like it was pretty wild.
Telling y'all, don't mess with Cassie, girl. Her ancestors ain't playing about her. I think as much as I could think about anything else, the only thing that has always shook my reality was my mom passing away. And I think it was just because it happened just like it was like a flash of light. Like she wasn't sick. It wasn't something I was prepared for. It wasn't, you know what I mean? And you kind of think about when people pass and it's like, is it better that they give time to like say goodbye and all that other stuff? And like mine was waking up to go to school one day. And then by the time I got to school, my mom was gone. Like it was like a flash, and my reality did immediately change from that moment on. I was never the same person, and my life was a completely different timeline from then on. And so I don't think anything else has ever shook me like that. I think I've had experiences that are like, man, that's fucked up, but like not to where my reality, not to the core like that one.
Right.
You already know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what you got next for them?
All right. So especially since we've already broached the topic of daydreaming,
Okay.
so I'm curious to know, like, what is that like for you? Like, do you what kind of things are you daydreaming about? How does it happen? Are you choosing, or do you just find yourself like lost? Like, tell me more about what that daydream world is like for you, Katie.
First of all, I think it's everything. So sometimes it's relevant to what's going on in my life, sometimes it's not. Um, but I think it's just moments where I have time to myself, whether I'm driving, which not the best time to daydream, but we're here. Um, if I have like a pause at work where like I'm thinking about something and then all of a sudden my mind just starts wandering. I don't really think that there's like a rhyme or reason behind the exact times it happens. It's just like if I have like a moment where I'm not focusing on something, it just kind of starts to drift into it.
Nick, how about you?
I would say I typically daydream when I'm at work. It's usually when I'm in the middle of writing an email or something, and I just start thinking about anything else. I think it just, yeah, I would say like driving too. It just happens for me. I think whenever there's like dead noise in my head, it's like, okay, time to think about something else and see what life would be like in a different reality.
Mm. Nick, how about you? You daydreamer?
Ciao. I don't even know how not to know. Yes, and a lot of my daydreams happen not necessarily during the day. It's a lot of times like at night when I'm winding down, when I'm just kind of like I'll realize that I'm like drifting off. And I am with Katie. I have done it when I've been driving before. I'm like, ooh, girl, and Atlanta, that's not the safest thing to do, but it happens. But it's usually like when I'm by myself, if I've, just kind of had some time, and then I start to like, to me, like daydream and manifest at the same time, because it's also like for my daydreams, there are things that they're the dreams that I also want to accomplish. Like I daydream about like, how do I get to this stage in life, or do this or do that. So like a lot of it is very like active, like what's happening next for
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm with all of you, of course. I'm all the time. I was a passenger princess forever, ever. So it's so hard for me to focus in a car. Like I'm so used to just being able to be like, I'm like, oh, I'm driving, like shit. But I find myself like, so there are times when I try to do more like focused daydream work, if you will, manifestation work and like stuff if I'm, working in my altar or whatever. But I often find myself like, I don't even know how I get from point A of concentrating on a task to point C completely like lost in a world of my own making. Like I oftentimes, if I'm like reading an article or something, or I'll be reading a book, I'll pause on a sentence or something that catches something else in my brain, and I won't quite realize what's happening, but I'll completely go away from the thing I was focused on, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, but the older I get, and I don't know if it's just a function of having a busier life, but like it just overtakes me sometimes. Like I don't feel like I ease into it all. I just like dissociate all of a sudden.
Yeah, because that's like that's the less like pretty term for daydreaming, dissociate.
Mhm.
And it's
So
so
that's
like
real.
frightening sometimes. I'm just like, oh shit. Like I've lost 10 minutes to like just spiraling.
Where did that
You know?
time go?
Yeah.
Speaking of dissociating, next question. Guys, what's your favorite way to escape reality? Nick.
uh, uh, I like to garden, if you know what I mean.
Yes, you're a great guy.
Like,
Yes,
I love to plant rosebuds and pick them
yes,
and usually just chill out with myself.
yeah. I think that's a great, yes, cultivate a garden. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about you, Katie?
So one is like going to live music. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think because my mind's running all the time, that's like one of the only times where I'm actually present, which is odd because you'd think the opposite for dissociation. Or just, again, driving. Driving has
Mm.
always been like that place for me where I'm just like, I'm by myself going, um, maybe listen to some music, probably listen to some music pretty loud and just, yeah, focusing on the road.
Mm-hmm. I also like to garden. Um, Big fan, have been for many years. But I would say my more like functional, or not functional, but like my maybe healthier outlet for escaping realities. I like to walk. So I like to put on headphones and listen to music that pumps me up and just like go, and it's kind of like a lot of times I'll use that time to kind of daydream too, and a more focused, like, because you're feeling like you're doing goal, intentional kind of work while you're moving your body, right? And then I'll think about, I'm being a badass bitch and I'm gonna do this and be badass this way too, whatever. And I also, as I've gotten older, I've tried to like unplug for some of the time when I'm walking and actually like acknowledge that the earth is around me and touch a blade of grass or two and something like that. And it's weird because it does feel like it's an escape from the chaos of reality, but actually getting back to the physical reality.
Mm.
Because I think it's like hard for us in this time and place to be grounded ever. And that being grounded feels like an escape from our reality, which is
Mm.
weird when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Tanae?
Well, we should start a garden club. Um, but I have also I watch tarot readings to escape reality, honestly. Because it's very easy for me to kind of I mean I love tarot, and I've, as y'all know, I have decks. I will be back this week.
Okay.
But anyways, but it's a way for me to like hear things but not have to focus on something. It's a way to like kind of be present by myself but not having to like really use my mind. And I'm with you on like just going outside and being free, and like um when I took my birthday trip just to go hike in the mountains, like that is a definite escape from reality, because like it's just a different. You don't hear much, you know what I mean? Like you get to see what Mother Nature has created, the earth, and you get to kind of be one with that. And I feel like that's a way for it to escape reality. But like you said, find that grounding. And I think that's just been super helpful in these trying times. But yeah, so you guys are the lucky bunch because I wanted to. We used to play games with our guests and we kind of forgot. So we decided we're going to play a game with you guys, and it's really simple. Okay, I promise. They're both their faces like, what is this? This is probably bad.
Nobody said anything about a game in the email.
No, not in the email. I did brief them just a minute ago, but they're on here now. Too late. Okay. So we're going to do what we call a Would You Rather Pisces edition. So we're going to give you two things, and we're just going to say, would you rather do this or this? That's it. It's really, really simple. All right. So, and you two are the only ones to answer. Cassie and I aren't going to answer because we're not Pisces. Okay.
No one cares about our opinion on these things.
All right. So you can both answer these at the same time. I think that would be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, would you rather eat fish every day for the rest of your life or spend 2 years at sea?
Sorry. Technical difficulties.
Oh,
would you rather eat fish every day for the rest of your life or spend 2 years at sea?
I feel like either way, I'm going to have to eat fish, and I don't want to do either. I don't want to do that. Probably spend 2 years at sea.
I think I agree with that.
Okay.
You're traveling, right? Like, you're not just like floating around. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big cruise.
Maybe you're on a nice cruise ship. We didn't specify what sort of, apparatus you'd be on.
But you're at sea for 2 years. Okay. All right, next one. Would you rather listen to the same song every day or watch the same episode of a TV show?
Song.
Same song.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that. Okay. The next one is, would you rather have the same randomly selected dream every day or never dream again?
Same randomly.
I would say same random since I got a dream. It'd be nice to experience it.
Anything is a bonus.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last one is, would you rather paint a perfect masterpiece or sing a perfect song? Or paint a masterpiece or sing a perfect song?
Sing a perfect song. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. That's what Cassie said. I said paint a masterpiece because I can carry it through, but I can't paint worth shit.
Tune at all. It'd be over for you, hoes, if I could. You wouldn't stop me from singing. That's all the fuck I would do.
So before we get out of here, Nick has a special energy coming up in his life. And actually Katy touched on it a little bit earlier. So we have talked about Saturn returns before, and it usually happens between your 27th and your 29th year. And the nerd that I am, I actually looked up Nick's chart, and I saw where Saturn was in his chart and like the minute, degrees, all of that. And on March 4th of this year, it will not be on your birthday, but it will on March 4th. That's when Saturn will basically return right where it was when you were born. So Saturn returns bring karmic lessons, and it's like when you're in your 20s, you fuck shit up and figure it out. And by the time you're 29, you have less time to fuck shit up because you're gonna switch into the 30. But it does reflect all of the lessons and all of the things that you have learned, and it reflects them back to you. So whatever energy you've been putting out, you will receive. But the rewards from karmic and Saturn returns are so amazing because those are lessons that stay with you forever, and they transform you into a much more mature and stronger person, and lessons that you didn't think that would help you in ways that you could have never imagined. So I I will encourage you this next year to be open to all of the lessons and to be okay with not knowing what it's going to look like. Cassie?
Yeah, I 100%. And I would say keep an eye on the places that feel like a struggle, where it feels like power struggle for you, and see what you can let go of. Because a lot, for me anyway, I felt like a lot of my my first Saturn return period, because, you know, goddess willing, I'll get another one in my 50s. But what I found was the things I was trying to hold on to that were a struggle needed to go. And the harder I struggled to hold on to it, the more it needed to go. And I expect it all to make sense until Saturn has moved out of Pisces, because these lessons will have started around this time last year, because Saturn moved into Pisces in March of last year, and it's not going to be out of there until 2026. So you won't have fully completed that karmic lesson cycle until Saturn is into Aries. But the most intense period of it is probably right now. Honestly, like
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it started early.
Well,
It feels
and
like
I think you also having your sun in Pisces is amplifying that energy. For you to have the same sun sign and Saturn sign, that probably puts that much more. It is encouraging you to be a different man. Like at the end of the day, it's encouraging you to grow up, and like the ways that you thought you could be is not the ways that are going to work. And
At this point, it's shoving. It's not. It's not nudging. It's.
I mean, I was
that's what it
working
feels
with,
like.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was working with Cassie during my Saturn return as a manager, and it was a very, very difficult time for me work-wise. But at the end of it, I felt untouchable because I was able to navigate the difficulties, and Cassie can attest to the difficulties, which with that strain was under. And it's just like, it's not going to be something that you can control.
Yeah.
It's something you have to kind of like surrender to. And Pisces is a good surrendering energy. And I am excited to watch this happen because we're going to be friends forever anyway. But we talked about some of the things, so keep that in mind.
And I do think you're well suited to learn the lessons. Having a Capricorn moon is kind of beneficial to this period, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So you, in your soul, like in also, I think with that, stay in touch with like your instincts and your intuition, because they're more in touch with these lessons than maybe your logical brain is, and certainly your daydreamy brain
I
might
need you both to
be.
get out of my head, please. Please.
Never. I'm gonna be in your dreams tonight. That might be true,
I'm just
honestly.
saying.
No, very
No,
true.
it'll
No,
be great. It'll be a
yeah.
level up for sure. By the time it's all through, it is for everybody. It's just, like nothing good comes without some struggle or difficulty or work,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the lesson of the Saturn return.
And with that said, do either of you want people to know where to find you or promote anything? Okay. Well,
Leave it to
thank
the
you.
Pisces, to the spirits. No, thank you.
They're like, this wasn't even real.
Yeah.
It was all a dream and illusion. We're not even here. Um, well, Nick and Katie, thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us, talk about dreams. I wish you guys the best Pisces season
Yes.
ever. Nick, your birthday is coming up this weekend, so boo boo thang thang. Enjoy. You know I love you. Katie, yours is next for like coming up just as soon.
Just on
I
heels.
hope you have an amazing, amazing solar return. And I would encourage both of you to dream bigger.
As big as you can. You need
Yeah.
it.
All
You need it. Thank
right,
you
guys.
guys
I'm
for spending the day
kicking
with
you
us or night.
out.
All right,
Thank
cool. Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
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 Oh yeah,
Wonderful
that's
to
I gotta
see
do
your
it this
beautiful
way.
faces
Boop boop.
again.
Oh damn. She was like, I know how to get out. Okay, kick
Katy,
you out.
boop, boop.
She's like, boop. And girl. Oh my god.
Want to promote anything?
Not
Probably not.
even that. Do you want the people to know where you are? No. Okay.
Don't drop my location. We're not discussing it.
Cool.
Undisclosed.
In the ether, that's where they are.
I love it. I love it.
All right. So let's talk about some planetary stuff. Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about it. Katie, never be sorry. I love
Yeah.
that
No.
boss bitch energy. You're taking it into your own hands. Don't ever
Snatch that,
apologize.
Leo. She's like, girl, I'm gone. Bye. Okay, bye. She was like, I did what I was supposed to do. Click. Okay. So currently, as of technically, according to my favorite astrology thing, AstroTem, the sun will be into Pisces tomorrow. We will have currently today, we do have the moon in Gemini. And then, as I told you, Aquarius season is still here. We have Venus, Mars, Mercury, and Pluto currently living in Aquarius. And we did have a Mars Pluto conjunction last week in Aquarius. We had a Venus, Mars, and Pluto conjunction the other day.
It ain't about you. It's not going to be about any of us for a long time.
The collective is ruling the world right now. And I, for one, am here for it because, like, we can't be all if we can't be together. You know, like, it's not, as individuals, we have to effectively work as a collective. Mm-hmm. Like, no man is an island, for real, for real. Like, and especially, again, in these times. Yeah. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. It's shocking how, especially in the United States, how easily people accept the idea that they're self-sufficient. It's like, no, like every single thing you have was touched by dozens, hundreds, thousands of other people to make its way to you. Like,
I love the idea of community. And I mean, like, living in a community with others and being able to share other things with others. And like, oh my gosh, you don't have this here, let me help you. Do you need somebody? You know, like, even navigating child rearing, like, community, like, really just realizing, like, everybody has different struggles, but like, we can help each other. We have our own strengths and weaknesses that complement each other and help in growth. And so it's like, it's helpful to really like ask for help. And you know, and this is coming from somebody who's like, bitch, fuck that, but I do sometimes. Luckily, I have people that love me and are very close to me, and they make sure that your girl is good. So,
well, that's the thing is, like, at this point, I think it should be, you know, with all this Aquarius energy, the focus is less on asking for help and more on offering it, right? Like, find the ways that you can help without having to be asked. And then I think you'll end up most of the time receiving more help you need without having to ask for it.
Yeah. It's like stepping outside of yourself. Like, I think we have to get away from how much self-absorption I think that we were really kind of focused on for a very long time, and kind of our fellow person, our neighbor, in the broadest sense of the term. And as we talked about with Nick, we do have Saturn and Neptune still hanging out in Pisces, Jupiter and Uranus still hanging out in Taurus, and our North Node is in Aries, and all of the planets, guys, still moving forward.
And throughout the duration of Pisces season, we have no retrogrades this Pisces season. It's kind of
take advantage.
Right. I'm going to knock on wood because it's astrologically relatively chill. Like, we have the full moon at the end of the week in Virgo, the 24th of February, right after Mercury moves from Aquarius to Pisces on the 23rd, but it only stays there like 11. I mean, it's a very short period because by the 9th of March, it moved on to Aries. And then Venus will move from Aquarius to Pisces on March 11th, right after the new moon in Pisces on March 10th, which that'll be nice energy for that new moon, I think, to really get in touch with your dreamy, Pisces thoughts and energy, while very much still having Aquarius energy to remind us that even our dreams are not an island, and perhaps we should open and broaden our dreams to dreams for the collective and
those dreams to paper, because Aquarius is all about communication and thought, so don't just leave them up here, like get them out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's gonna be, I think, I agree. I think we have some really nice energy right now. Quite interested to continue to see what happens in the world, because it's just been so wild. Like 2024 started, I was like, "Ooh, child, are we ready?"
No, we're never ready. Like, there's been no chill since before we started this project, and certainly not since we've been doing this. So buckle up, bitches. It's just gonna keep coming.
That's where we're at. So we're gonna hit celebrity check-in now.
Yeah, let's talk about our favorite Pisces season celebrities. Some good ones.
I know. You know me. I'm like, I got this one. Okay. I will pick this one as my first one because I'm pretty sure Cass and I have the same one for the last one. But for the first one, this amazing being, owns the most world medals in U.S. history at 25, the most world championship gold medals of any female gymnast at 19. She was one of the first African-American gymnasts to win an Olympic medal. She's a two-time Olympian from 2016, 2020, seven-time Olympic medalist, 4 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze, and she's heading to Paris for 2024. We know I am talking about the Simone Biles. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I can just read her credentials and I'm done.
And she has these credentials after also opting out of the 2020 Olympics for her mental health. Yes,
which
girl.
we support.
Yes, all of that.
Exactly.
Yes, 100%. Like, yeah, fucking A. Go live in a cave if that's what you need to do. I love that. And she didn't, feel the need to explain that decision to us. And good. That's like modeling boundaries for all of us. You don't have to tell anyone. No is a complete sentence, and your mental health.
We're not owed that. Like,
nope.
Just because these people are famous or celebrities, we are not owed anything. Access to their life, we're not owed an answer, a response. It's not, because no regular person owes you that either way. So, good for you, Simone. We will be rooting you on in Paris.
Absolutely. Okay, so my first celebrity is just a comedic genius. We remember her from Beetlejuice, from Home Alone, and most recently as Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. I am talking about the legendary Catherine O'Hara. Decidedly entirely unproblematic, just a fucking badass actress. So funny, so seemingly like generous in acting, right? Like, not somebody who's coming in trying to trample all over the scene, but just to bring that energy to it. And I just fucking love Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. She is a great character.
Oh my god!
And Catherine O'Hara is incredible as her, and so silly and fun and smart. And if you haven't watched that show, do yourself a favor. It's so good.
Phenomenal character. Like, when you see somebody perform and you're like, this character is everything.
Yeah.
Not even like Catherine O'Hara. Ma'am. And I think she was also in Best in Show, right?
Oh yeah.
And
oh my god, of course.
The Prairie Home Companion or something. Like,
I didn't know that one.
It's the same kind of, I think it was the same group of people,
Oh,
but
sure.
like, yeah, but the Best in Show, that was also amazing. But
So funny.
we love her. That's that was a good one.
Thank you. I had to do some more research after our call last week. So here to talk about
that. Okay, so my next one will forever be like Queen, for real. Her closest people know her as Dana Owens, but she was first a rapper and came out with the 1989 album All Hail the Queen, and then with her single Ladies First, and then she followed it up with Black Rain with UNITY. Then she decided, I think I'm going to be an actress. So she then starred in the amazing 90s sitcom Living Single, which is original. Friends took it from there. But anyways, Living Single.
They're not
she was
ready
in the movie Set It Off.
that today.
Huh? You said what?
I said they're not ready for that.
It's like History Month. You know, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell the truth. Set It Off. Every lesbian in America loved Cleo. She was in Chicago, Taxi, Last Holiday, Bringing Down the House, Beauty Shop, Girls Trip, the TV show Star, and most recently, she is the equalizer on the TV show. I am talking about none other than Queen Latifah. I love you, girl. Also, she was just at Tom Brown. I think that's a designer. Her and Janet Jackson. Ciao. But still my heart, because I was like,
the 90s daydream.
But she is always looking flawless. She had her own talk show back in the day. I mean, Queen Latifah is the epitome of the talent and the soulfulness and the creativity of a Pisces. Like, for her to start as a rapper and pivot so well into TV and movies, and it's literally, I mean, she's had a career for 30 plus years at this point.
Has to be. Yeah. 30 years ago would be 94. So, yeah.
So, and she shares my baby's birthday, so I love that.
Yeah, that's great. She's the fucking GOAT. She's incredible. I saw her at Lilith Fair when I was a senior in high school, and it was amazing, and she was so fucking good. And she's an incredible actress. She's so funny and serious, whatever. Like, she can do whatever needs to be done, and just seems like a really good person. Like, another one that you've never heard somebody say like she was a diva or a bitch. Right. Like, she does not give off that energy at all, and
she is private. Stay in her lane.
I saw her induct Missy Elliott into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she was so generous and sweet and cool, and still looks fucking 28. Like, how is that possible?
Never aged. Because she is happy minding her business, and her wife is living their life. Okay.
Free.
So yeah.
It's amazing. And yes, Queen Latifah is everything. There's I don't know who. All right, because I think we're coming up on our last one.
Absolutely.
So all right, and I think I'm gonna shout out another underrated comedy queen.
Okay.
She had numerous hilarious, silly characters on SNL, like Debbie Downer. She's also done a ton of voiceover work in all of your favorite adult cartoons. She had recurring characters in 30 Rock. I'm talking about Rachel Dratch. I just love her. Every time she pops up, she's so funny, and she can pull faces and just like fully inhabit an insane person and not break character. Like, I think she's really brilliant, and I enjoy seeing her, and she's still just out here doing stuff. Like, she's one of those people who has just kept her career going while being like not a high profile celebrity or whatever. She'll just out here, like one of those where you look at her IMDb page and it's like, oh wow, you've been in 700 things. That's crazy. Like,
if a Pisces don't do nothing else, they be putting in that work though. They be putting
Rachel
in that
Dratch,
work.
I love you, girl.
Putting it in that work. Well, as you all know, there's only one Pisces that always reigns supreme. For me and Cassie, at least. I don't know about y'all, but we don't care. But this amazing human from Barbados, who launched Fenty Beauty in 2017, has had 14 number one songs, 9 Grammys. She is a mom to 2 beautiful, beautiful boys. Killed the fucking Super Bowl halftime show last year and shocked the shit out of all of us. Like, girl, you pregnant? But did it anyways. I am, of course, talking about Rihanna, I'm sorry, ma'am, Rihanna Fenty. And her makeup brand is current valuation $2.8 billion, just in case. And also, I believe she was one of the first brands to offer so many different shades, and which is odd because there's been so many other makeup brands out for years, and I mean, from what I personally don't use makeup, but I'm sure Cassie can follow up on this, but shades, I mean, across, and everyone said nothing but amazing things about her products. And I believe she is working on a men's line because I think her baby daddy was putting somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, they stay working, and she might have an album coming out. I don't know.
Let's we don't deserve it, but we'll take it. Rihanna, please. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Fenty changed the game, I think, for that, set the expectation that every spectrum should be represented equally, because it was always like 43 different shades for white ladies and you know, like 10 shades for medium brown ladies and 2 shades for dark-skinned women. Really, like if you looked at a Revlon or a CoverGirl, you know, the lineup of all the different foundations. And if you look at Fenty's lineup, it's like a true representation of, here's the actual sliding scale of coloration, and we have equally represented every single portion of that spectrum and given them a warm, a neutral, and a cool option. And it's just like, why didn't that exist before? It's kind of the same thing where you're like, why didn't dark skin band-aids exist before? Like, how the fuck did it take till the 2020s for that to happen? And all her products are clean. They're like, they don't contain a lot of the nasty stuff that a lot of cosmetics do. They're great, actually work really well, which is nice. And are, you know, cosmetics are expensive, but like hers are not egregiously so. Like if you compare to brands that maintain that level of quality ingredients, like not trying to rip anybody off, it seems like you get your bang for your buck. Her gloss bomb lip glosses are the only ones that I have run out of as an adult, because I have so many fucking options. I would never run out, but I love it so much. The formula is so good that I was like, I need to buy more of this. I am actually done. And I love her. I'm here for her mom phase. I love that she pops in when she wants to and then just drops out for months at a time. That's very Pisces energy.
Yeah.
You'll see me when I appear out of the ether.
Like just like that. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna disappear right back into it.
Her lingerie fashion line, like she always, her fashion, whenever you see her, is like, ma'am, like how she puts her entire ward outfit together. Like, man, Rihanna, we love you, girl. And you've been around, if you've been out for a minute, like, and if you don't put out an album, girl, you ain't got to be on my face. Like, you're a billionaire. Live your life.
Right.
Of all the people I want to be a billionaire, yeah, ma'am, go ahead. Because you live your life, and I think she lives most of her time like not even in the States. She's like, y'all can have that. I'm gonna go raise my kids somewhere else.
And who can blame her? Not me.
All right. So for the question, so we're gonna kind of talk a little bit about Saturn in Pisces right now. It will be in Pisces, as Cassie said, till 2026. You said 2025?
Yeah, 26. It dips. It goes briefly to Aquarius for a few months in mid 2025, but for the most part, it'll be in Pisces from last March till 2026.
And you know, Saturn's normally very comfortable in Capricorn and Pisces, I think it is a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it it shakes the reality. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I think, you know, the Pisces dreaminess is not allowed to be so
Yeah.
dreamy in Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much like, what's your reality, homie? Like, what you really trying to do over here?
Yeah.
So for our question, I am a Pisces sun, Virgo moon, Pisces rising.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
With Saturn in Pisces for the next 2 years, what lessons will I be learning?
Well, if they're a Pisces rising, it means this transit is affecting them in their first house, which is their house of self and your like literal physical body. So I would advise them to watch where they're walking, right? Like no bullshit. I mean, Saturn in Pisces is challenging the boundaries of reality and fantasy, and I think the lesson actually, I think, for Saturn and Pisces period is to understand and stay rooted in your own boundaries, because the world is going to test the limits of them, right? And so for this person, I truly, you know, like really, maybe not the time to take up a, you know, skydiving sport or something like that, like really, like, you know, wild physical flights of fancy. You know, don't overdo anything. If you're trying to like get into a new workout regime or something, start out small. Make sure you're doing it in a way that's manageable, that you're staying in tune with your physical body. Watch, you know, letting, you know, it's hard for Pisces because they're so they want to let everybody in and they're so porous or whatever, but like watch who you're letting into your physical space too.
Boundaries. Saturn is going to teach you some harsh lessons about boundaries, and you may not like them if you don't have good ones. I think with the Virgo moon, that's helpful.
Yeah, tap into that energy.
I think it's always a tug of war when you see opposites in, especially the sun and the moon. And so that Virgo is then going to be in their 7th house. And so really their emotions and relationships to other people and getting those really good boundaries once again, I think is going to be very, very helpful, because it's going to be an opposition of maybe how they feel. And they may want to be, you know, with that, and it's like you have to really set those limits for yourself. And I think that's what Saturn's about, is really showing you your limitations and asking you to really lean into them a little bit, because you know, we all want to be as free as possible, but realizing like there are certain limitations. And like Pisces, of course, you know, their 2 symbols is the 2 fish going in opposite directions. So they're always free falling, free floating everywhere. And, you know, using that Virgo energy, which is a little bit more grounding, to kind of lean into that a little bit. But I encourage all Pisces to surrender, to really allow themselves to surrender to whatever change Saturn is going to bring for you, without having to feel drowned.
Sure. Like you can accept without being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And if you're in tune with your own limitations and your own boundaries and are grounded in a reality, then that those changes feel less, you know, you don't feel so uprooted by them, because you can actually you still have this like framework of security that stays regardless of what's crashing against it or going this way or that. I totally agree that, you know, the questioner should lean into their Virgo moon and its discernment and its restraint. And kind of the same advice we gave to Nick, like trust your
Mhm.
intuition, and not your fantasy
Yeah,
notions of
yeah,
what you think might be,
yeah, like
because that's
not
dangerous.
the daydreams, the
Right.
intuitions.
But that's a hard, like that. It's sometimes it's hard to know the
Mhm.
difference too. So,
I feel
you know,
like intuitions are more nudgings and knowings that come, and the daydreams are stuff that you consciously are aware of. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the intuition is something that you're just like, oh, well, I guess I know. Like it's more of a feeling, I think.
Yes. Yes.
And
I was
the
mhm.
daydreaming and the delusions are more like a conscious like
Mental thing.
disassociation. Yeah.
Yes. No, I would 100% agree with that. I was
Yeah.
going to say, for me, my way of understanding if something is intuition or like my anxiety is like, do I feel it in my physical body? Like if I feel it in my tummy or in my like gut, it feels more like my intuition. But if I feel it in my like heart racing or my head buzzing, that is more my anxiety.
Girl, you crazy. Yeah. It's like that's your mind playing tricks on you, girl. What's that what's
Right.
going on? No, I get it. Like, and you know, it's I think Pisces don't give themselves enough credit for really reading the room the right way. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that with the mutable water, it is hard to find a like, you know, firm
Yeah.
discernment or firm point of
Mm-hmm.
like, wait a minute, this ain't
Mm-hmm.
right. But and honestly, I would say lean into the creativity. Like if you get anxious, like, you know, Pisces are known for being very soulful, very musically inclined, very artistic, whether it be like creative or, you know, whatever. Lean into that when you're not sure whether it's anxiety or intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of work it that way. Like I would say lean into your creative side because it'll give you a release, an outlet,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll give you something to focus on that doesn't feel so chaotic.
Yeah. I think honestly, that's really good advice for everybody this
Mm-hmm.
Pisces season, because there is a ton, like with all that Pisces and Aquarius energy, I think the place that best meets those two is creative work, because it is through writing, through songs, through visual art, through drum circles, whatever your thing is, those are the moments where you are able to connect the spirit to the
Mm-hmm.
collective, right? Like you're able to show the collective something that is true to you, and it allows those people to understand truth in a new way. And let's all of us do that this season. And we have all these energies moving us forward. Nothing, no retrograde energies trying to hold us back from our own success in these arenas. So fucking go for it, man.
Yeah, if you've had something in the works, this is the time
Work it up.
to really bam.
I know.
Sorry, y'all, that's an inside joke. If you had something in the works, to pull it out, see what you are inspired to create, and maybe you're like, man, fuck this, and start all over again. But like, you know, just try it. You can try a little bit a day. It doesn't even need to be complete, but like, you know, getting that out and not allowing it to sit. I think Aquariuses and Pisces tend to ruminate a lot, whether it be mentally for Aquariuses or emotionally for Pisces. And so, like, don't allow it to just sit within yourself. Get it out, like you said, like where spirit meets the collective energy, and like share it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
a million people are on TikTok sharing things we don't really give a fuck about. So
Right.
share something that people
Yeah.
should care about. So before we get into our tarot, I just want to give a shout out to Nick and Katy. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys have an amazing solar return Pisces season. Shout out to all my Pisces,
Mama
especially
Michelle.
I was going to say yes, Cassie's a Mama Michelle and my baby boy Christian. I hope this Pisces season is amazing for you. All my other Pisces friends, I ain't forget about y'all either, but you know, these are the two we're shouting out. We will be back for Aries season next month. We don't know when, but you know, we'll let you know before that. Keep up to date. We are really a lot more active on social media, I noticed, which has been great.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen both of our faces, so that's always good. I will be back this week with another deck for you for the Tea and Tarot with Tanae. It's been my birthday, and I just haven't felt like it, but you know, now I'm back. I'm ready.
Gave her some slack, but Pisces season, I'm bringing down the hammer.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be there. Listen. It's my creative outlet, so I got to do something. And in the meantime, this is in honor of Cassie because she has spoken on this. We are doing the Angel Guide Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. This is a lovely, I love tarot, but Oracle decks, I think for the collective, always tend to, again, I don't think it's ever failed a single episode that the deck and the message and the card has come through for exactly what we needed to hear.
100%.
So, Cassie, whenever you are ready.
Go for it.
Okay. Ooh. Man, y'all better not mess with my girl, boy. She don't play no games, boy. She be like, listen, ancestors, what are we talking about? What are we saying? Okay. So we have raise your vibration.
Oh, yes.
Which
yes, we do.
Pisces is the higher octave of Jupiter. I believe Neptune is the higher octave, and Pisces is the last sign. It is the spirit sign. It is the soul sign. It is the highest vibration that you can really go in. So guys, we are going to raise our vibration. And Nick, this might be for you. It's time to move up a level. It's time to fly high. You may have experienced some setbacks or felt low recently, but that is behind you now, and you have the opportunity to light up like never before. Everything in the entire universe is comprised of energy, and that energy vibrates, drawing toward it similar energy. So raising your vibration means aligning yourself with situations, people, places, and choices that you know will lift you up, support you, and help you grow. When this card appears, you have overcome the darkness and are moving into a time of opportunity. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you can be reborn. Know that the angels are acknowledging your commitment to growth. You are filled with inspiration now and attracting only the good. There is a sense of achievement around you at this time. You may be receiving documentation, certification, or a reward of some description to acknowledge your growth or experience. This is a time to cherish, a time to enjoy the rewards of your commitment to living with integrity and doing good. You have overcome many challenges and risen above adversity, judgment, and possibly even abuse. You are ascending spiritually and personally at this time, and the universe is supporting you. This is the pathway of light, the pathway of your soul's evolution, ascension.
Yes, yes, to all of that. That's perfect.
And like I said, never fails. Ever. So guys, thank you for joining us for Pisces season. We will be back, like I said, next month sometime for Aries season. You will probably see us before that because we will have the spring equinox also happening.
Yay.
Which is a great time for new beginnings. And, you know, for us witchy people, it's kind of our new year. So,
it's the real new year. Yeah. So if you've been slacking
if you
on
know,
your
you
resolutions, good.
Right.
Because that's what you've been supposed to be doing.
Cassie, I love you, girl. Would never do this without you.
I love you.
It's all love, everybody. We out of here.
Peace.